It is 5:06. You're listening to the Evening Edition with Lynn, and we're starting this hour off by looking at whether the pandemic has changed our working habits permanently. Because working from home has become somewhat the norm, really, over the last few months. And as we return to the office, many companies, BFM included, have been functioning on a rotational basis. So here at the station, BFMers have been working from home every other week. And from what I hear from my friends in other offices, people are going into the office for half a week, say Monday to Wednesday or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, things like that. And this sort of arrangement seems to have solved at least a little the perennial tension and problem of working from home, which is that people find it harder to collaborate and be creative when you're stuck in video meetings and not able to just walk past desks and have a chat. And in some cases, also working from home can come with its own distractions. But on the flip side, not being in the office can also give you time for work that requires deeper thought and concentration, two things that can be hard to come by in a modern open plan office. So it would seem then that having a half and half arrangement would give the best of both worlds. According to research from Humu, which is a tech company run by Google's former chief of human resources, across organizations, work was most effective when employees were home 1 or 2 days a week. Meanwhile, Nicholas Bloom, who is an economics professor at Stanford, agrees, saying that we should never be thinking about full-time or zero time in the office. It's probably going to sit somewhere in between. And locally, or at least regionally, things look to be going that way too. A survey run by International Data Corporation ASEAN found that 50% of large ASEAN firms are actually planning to incorporate or expand remote working in their policies. And this is part of a conversation about how COVID-19, I think, has forced the hand of a lot of things that previously were theoretical. So, for example, digitalization, I think, a lot of people were putting off the push or the pivot over into digitalization. And then when people couldn't leave their homes, it kind of became, well, this is a must do. And similarly, when it comes to working from home, even on this station, we have talked about it ad nauseum about whether or not we are ready, whether or not companies are ready, our supervisors ready. And in the end, it didn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you're ready or not. You just have to. So the question now then is, as we head into the RMCO and beyond, once things officially are under control, things get back to normal, is this part of the new norm, the fact that we are just going to have maybe a half and half arrangement of coming into the office so that we get to collaborate, we get to see our colleagues, make use of the office resources, but also spend time at home? I don't know if you can tell, I'm a huge fan of this idea. I would really, really love for it to be the case. I don't know if BFM or if any company really is going to be putting it in permanently. But I think that there is real value in being able to focus and organize and not be distracted by others, which really in most modern offices that are increasingly trending towards being open plan, it can be so difficult. So what are your working arrangements like at the moment? And do you think a half-half arrangement would suit you, whether or not it's coming into the office 1 week and staying home the next, or for that matter, coming in half of the office week or even 4 days and having 1 day at home? Is this something that you would want to see permanently happen in your working life? You can let us know. Call 77332900, WhatsApp 018-789-8899, and tweet us at BFM Radio. We also have a poll running. It just went up. And so right now it just has 63 votes, but we're asking this exact question. Would you continue working from home? And only 9.5% are saying no, they would not. So broadly speaking, 38.1% is saying yes, but what's in the lead, 52.4% are saying would split half and half, which supports, I think, the findings from abroad as well. Let us know. Do you want to continue a half-half working arrangement? Half your time at home, half your time at the office. You can call us 77332900. WhatsApp 018-789-8899, and tweet us at BFM Radio. We're going to be speaking after this with Derek To, who's the founder and CEO of WOB. So that's coming up. Keep it here on the Evening Edition, BFM 89.9.
Bodacious, fabulous minds. BFM 89.9, the business station.
It's 5:12 and you're listening to the evening edition with Lynn. We're talking today about whether or not the future of work is going to be in a half-half rotational basis. What a lot of people are currently doing right now anyway is, going to work either every other week. And when I say work, I mean work in the office. So going to the office every other week or simply going into the office for half a week, even 4 days. Is this something that you want to see permanently happen? What do you think that might look like for you? You can let us know. Call 7733 WhatsApp 018-789-8899, and tweet us at BFM Radio. So on the line with us now is Derek To, who's the founder and CEO of WOB. Derek, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, hi. Thanks for having me today.
So do you think that working during the pandemic has changed the way employers and employees view working in the office and working from home?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people have come to realize that it's possible to be productive working from home. I think when previously there wasn't a real need to try this in the first place, but because of the pandemic, I think most employers didn't have a choice, right? And they were forced to figure it out. And I think most of them have actually figured it out, right? How to actually be productive at home. So employers have definitely changed their view in terms of working from home. And I think employees as well have adapted to this. What was previously a novelty is kind of normal now. I think one of the main challenges, before, because working from home, wasn't something that was very common, was that there was this excitement about being able to work from home, which can be a bit confusing and, sometimes easily abused. And even families, I don't think a lot of them actually understood what working from home actually meant. I heard stories of parents who didn't understand that their child was actually working and asked them to help out with house chores, But now I think a lot of people understand what working from home actually means because it's been going on for a long time. So both, I think, employers and employees have figured out, right, how to actually work from home effectively.
So in a recent survey by the Morning Consult, 47% of those working remotely say that their ideal arrangement, once it's safe to return to work, would be to continue working from home 1 to 4 days a week. What do you make of this? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I imagine once we've figured out that you can get productive at home, I think it's difficult to kind of let it go again. So here are some advantages from working from home, and I think which is why a lot of people kind of like it. So assuming you've figured out how to eliminate distractions, so number one, you can actually focus on work and not get distracted by colleagues because you're just alone at home. Number two, you can save travel time. You don't have to commute in the morning and evening, which then, number three, actually helps you save a lot of stress, right? So if you're working from home, in the evening now, when I walk out of my room, I'm home, right? I don't have to brave the evening traffic. So those things are advantages, and to working at home. But of course, if you're actually in the office, there are some advantages too, such as more efficient collaboration, with colleagues and teams. If you try brainstorming over a video call, you realize it's very different from actually brainstorming in person. And there's also the energy and bond, right, that's built when everyone's working in the same place physically. So I think in the end, having a balance sounds quite ideal, right? A few days working from home to concentrate on individual work, and then a few days in the office for collaboration and building those bonds, and getting energized, working towards a goal together.
And we've been talking about it a lot from the point of view of employees, because I think employees are the ones who will really have enjoyed the benefits of it in many ways. But employers actually have traditionally been the stumbling block because of worries about productivity or accessibility or even attendance, right? Whether or not you are working your set 9 to 5 or whatever. So do you think that with the experiences that people have had during COVID-19, most companies will finally be ready for this?
That's an interesting question. I think there are obviously some businesses that can't adopt this working from home practice at all. The obvious ones would be companies like in retail, in F&B or manufacturing, where the people are actually required to physically be in the workplace to actually add value. For every other company, I suspect many would actually welcome this new normal, even the bosses, right? Because if you're actually running a company and you can and your employees are working from home and still being productive and adding value, there are lots of advantages to this. For example, you can save on office space. So, even in Warp, we talked about this and said, oh, if we are growing again, we don't need to rent a bigger office because now we can kind of half remote, function like that. So when you're actually expanding, and also the cost of running the office will be reduced because there are less people, physically in the office. And I actually think that staff retention, I imagine, is very likely to improve as well because your employees, if they're able to work from home sometimes when it makes sense, they'll probably end up happier. And at the same time, productivity will go up. So I think most employers who have figured out how to do this productively will probably want to keep this culture.
So for your own part, and for the part of your organization, what have the experience of working from home been like?
Yeah, personally, I'm quite an introvert, so I really love working from home. I often joke to people that, I could actually work like this forever, right?
I hear you. I agree.
Yeah. Right. So I tell my wife this all the time. I say, if MC was forever, that'd be great. And because there's a lot of personal space, so someone wanted to talk to me if I'm working from home, there's a set of time to call me, and I can plan for the call, etc. But if I'm in the office, somebody will just walk up to me at any time. So I'm constantly bombarded and distracted all the time. I'm constantly interrupted. So I do enjoy working from home. But now that we've all kind of started going back to the office, I realized that I definitely miss being with the team. Not just in terms of collaborating, but also in terms of having those bonds and relationships that kind of help unite us. Working towards that mission together. So I think at the end of the day, if we don't want something to feel like it's just a job, where you're just purely doing it for money, having that team spirit is actually quite important. So, so again, it comes back to like you still need to have 50-50. And me personally, I kind of like that too, right? Days where I work from home and there are days where I'm actually with the team.